All right, that's a nice question. In academic writing task 1, report writing, how many paragraphs should we write? What are those paragraphs? And what to write in each paragraph? That's important. The first thing is you should be familiar with report writing. There are 4 types. And you should know that, okay, there are 4 types and they might give me one of these 4 types. For example, like for essay writing, mainly there are 4 types and then there are some like 5th and 6th type as well. But mainly we've got 4 types for that. Now for report writing, mainly we've got 4 types. The first type is actually graph with a trend. And the easy way to understand that is they will give you the years from 2010 to 2020. They will give you time period. So whenever time period is given, that means it's a graph with a trend. The first thing. Second one is comparative graph. In comparative graph, they might give you the years, but they will not give you the time period. They might give you the years, but they will not give you the time period. What is time period? 2010 to 2020. That means 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And data is moving. Trends are going up. Things are coming down. Fluctuations. That is what we call graph with a trend. Trend is always built over time. 5 years time, 10 years time, you have upward trend, downward trend and all that. Right? Now, on the other hand, when you've got comparative graph, they will not give you the time period. In comparative graph, they will say 2005 and 2010. They will not say from 2005 to 2010. They will give you some data. 1 bar is of 2005 and 1 bar is of 2010. In comparative graph, data does not move. In comparative graph, you will not see upward trend, downward trend, fluctuations and all that. That is why vocabulary is different for comparative graph and vocabulary is different for graph with a trend. So this is the second one. The third type is what we call process diagram. They will give you a process diagram, how coffee is made, how tea is made and cup of tea is made and all that stuff. So that is what we call process diagram. Sometimes it is about how water is stored or how water is filtered and all that. So that is what we call process diagram. And the last one is map. In maps, they always give you 2 maps. One is past, one is present, or it can be both past. One is going to be 2005, one is 2010. Otherwise, one is 2010 and one is today. They use the word today or they use the word now. So this is the last one. So there isn't any 5th type. Now, coming back to the question, how many paragraphs and what to write, always remember the first paragraph is called introduction. Introduction. So in that paragraph, you are going to reword whatever is already given with the topic. With the topic, they give you a sentence. So you're going to reword, paraphrase and all that. Now coming to this point, what is rewording? Rewording is, for example, if I say pen, right? Pen is proper vocabulary word. And if I say a tool which is commonly used for writing, that means pen. This is what we call rewording. Bottle, vocabulary word. A container that is used or a plastic container which is commonly used for liquids. That means bottle. So this is what we call rewording, paraphrasing, rewording and all that. So the sentence which they give you with the topic, you have to reword, paraphrase all those things. I have a study plan on that also, and in that I've elaborated all these things. So I'll share that with you too, okay? So this is how you can go on introduction, first paragraph. Only 1 or 2 sentences, very short one. In introduction, only 1 or 2 sentences, exactly. Second one is called overview. Now, overview is required for only graph with a trend, comparative graph and map. For process diagram, we don't write overview. There we don't write. We don't need to actually. Okay. So what is overview? Overview means the overall trends. What are overall trends? Like overall, this bakery has more income than the other. Overall, this item is most popular than the other items. Right? That's what we call overview. Overview means highest one, right? Or the lowest one. Or overall means if it is graph with a trend, overall means two things increased and one thing decreased. That is what we call overview. And in overview also we have two sentences. And you always start your overview by writing overall what stands out from the graph is that. Okay, you write something like that and then you write a couple of sentences. We call it overview. Now after overview, next we have body of the report. Now this body of the report, number of paragraphs depend on you. For example, you want to write one long paragraph. Go ahead, do it. Or you think this data can be divided into two clear parts. Like two trends are upward, one trend is downward. So I will join two upward trends together and downward trend will come in contrast. So one paragraph for upward trends and one paragraph for downward trend. This is how you can divide. And by the way, there is no marking criteria on number of paragraphs. That if you write 2 paragraphs, more band, 3 paragraphs, more band, no. It's what you write within the paragraph. So that is actually important, right? So you can practice, learn the language, and you know there are 4 categories. Deal with them one by one. You say, this week I will only do comparative graph. Next week I will do graph with a trend. Then after that you can do process diagram. So gradually you'll be fine with that, right? Okay, thank you.